What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Level 2 live stream of E3. We have 5 people watching us. Today, I'm joined by the first time I'm actually seeing him, Mr. David Diaz here. Say hi! That's the voice you hear all the time.
Hi.
And then by Mr. Tigado Power over here on the stream right. And then I'm going to be down on the bottom. I'm down in a little box down there. Obviously, EA press conference. We're kind of excited about a few announcements that are happening. There's actually one that was announced this morning that we were talking about before we went live, and that is Titanfall single-player campaign. Don't hurt yourself, James.
Sorry, I'm just looking at what Blue said in the chat.
What do you guys think about the Titanfall single-player campaign video trailer? Have you guys seen it yet? Have you watched it?
Now, I just watched it about 20 minutes ago because I was like, I need to look at something for Titanfall. I have nothing for Titanfall.
It was just released about 2 hours ago, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
But I haven't looked at anything Titanfall at all. Like, even the first game, or as David likes to call it, the beta. The exclusive beta. But it looks really interesting, actually. There's a story. I mean, I don't know. It looks really cool. I like mechs, so...
Yeah, what do you think, David? What's your take on it?
If I were an Xbox fan, I'd be a little upset the exclusive was what feels like a beta for Titanfall 2.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks cool, I would say. I'm glad they opened it up, and I'm glad that they added a single-player campaign. And it looks pretty interesting with what the trailer is showing off as gameplay mechanics.
And one of the things I think they kind of did was they took what people complained about the first one, which is not having a campaign. I mean, that was the number one complaint, because everybody was like, that gameplay is awesome, the mech experience is awesome, but like, there's no campaign. And them having that campaign now, I think, will help. The downside to that is if this game's not very good after this, they're kind of screwed. I mean, let's be honest, that's what it comes down to. Is it's one of those things where if they did what the players wanted out of it, and if they don't do it right, then what happens to the franchise? Is it
right?
dead?
If it's a bad story, it's over.
Yeah. So the trailer was interesting. I don't know if it was in-game engine or an engine stuff. They didn't say specifically. It looked like a cinematic trailer, but it looked cool. I was one of those things where it wanted me to learn more, or I want to learn more about it because of the way it ended. So that was quite interesting with how that went.
The idea that you can jump off a ledge and the mech will come get you. That's kind of cool. If that is actual gameplay, I'd be very excited to check that out.
And the fact that mech, I mean, the story is, from what I gathered, was basically you had this former pilot of yours that ended up dying somehow. They don't say how he died, but he's dead, and you have a new pilot, and then this mech is asked what his different things are, and one of them is to protect his pilot. So I kind of want to know if they're going to tell the backstory of how the pilot died, because I think that would be an interesting story, or if they're just going to say, I mean, they might hint at it and then go along with this new pilot and kind of figure out what's going. I don't know. It's interesting to see what they would do with that, because I honestly don't know.
The story, I think it's cool how they set that up. You know, it's like, well, who authorized this change in pilots? Like, you don't have a choice. This is probably everybody got wiped out. Mm-hmm. There's only one person left, and it's up to you to take this thing and do what you have to do to get out of whatever's going on.
Which is crazy.
It looks interesting.
Yes.
It could be very tense.
Yes. Do you have anything else to add, James, before we go on to the next thing?
Well, just thinking about talking about the backstory is that they'll probably either do it like some sort of, I don't know, maybe like in Mirror's Edge. I just going to talk about it because I played it so much this week. They kind of talked about her backstory.
Right?
Yes, it actually is.
EA.
So it's related. It's DICE, but it's published by EA.
You're good. It's EA. It's got EA on it.
They did kind of these flashback things as part of dreams. Like whenever Faith went to sleep, she'd have these flashbacks of what happened when she got separated from her sister. So what I think with Titanfall is they might be able to do something like that. I don't know how they do that. Or maybe through recordings that you find in games, extra stuff like that. You find out the backstory. Might actually be a real story element, though. There's all those options. So I'm sure they'll probably delve into it somehow. But to what extent is yet
to be determined. It
remains to be seen.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
could be just an opening cutscene
Yeah.
and that's it, or
Yep.
who knows?
They
Maybe
could. Spoiler alert here, but it's been out or about a year. Star Wars. They could Star Wars it, and like, here's Luke. Guess what? Luke's only in it for 20 seconds. Then here's this story
Right.
you're going to. So that was the big news this morning. That was literally announced, like I said, probably about noon our time, so about 2.5 hours ago, maybe a little sooner than that. What are you guys looking forward to in the conference? We'll start with you, James. Is there any games or anything you predict you will see here, and things you kind of don't think we'll see but want to see?
Well, for EA, there's not like too much that I'm too crazy about. But I mean, they already had Mirror's Edge. They're not going to announce anything about a new Mirror's Edge or anything this week. Maybe they'll talk about numbers about it. That's it. But what I want to see from EA is I want to see if they do a Need for Speed announcement. I want to see that they're trying to revive the franchise, because I think it's kind of dying in past years. The past games haven't been so great.
I can't play this last Need for Speed game. It was so bad. Like, you love it. I don't. I think it's
I love it because it's cars.
Yeah,
I
can't play it.
For the more casual people, they need to do something like, if they could make something. What I'd really like to see is like an Underground 3, because Need for Speed Underground was so great. The two Underground games. If they could do something like that, more modern, obviously, with some new improvements. But if they could do something like that, especially because people are jumping on these retro kind of reboots now, as you see, like remastered things like that. If they did something like that, that would probably be enough to revive the series. And that's what people have kind of been asking for. I don't expect it, but we'll see. I don't even know if they're going to announce Need for Speed anything today.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all for EA I pretty much have.
You're racing. What about you, David? Do you have anything that you think's going to be there, you want to be there, that may not be there?
I'd love to see some Star Wars third-person style action adventure thing, something. Not Battlefront.
Not Battlefront. I think we'll see. I think we'll see
Like, I know we'll see Battlefront.
I think we'll hear about numbers, because that's gonna sound, because it's Star Wars. They probably, I think it was one of their better selling games because of the Star Wars franchise, and I think we'll see the DLC. Do you think we'll hear about the Death Star DLC? Vestman was just announced. That's why I'm kind of. It's interesting that I don't know if they'll do that, because Vestman is coming out. I'd have to check the date, but Vestman was announced maybe a week or two ago.
I think if anything, they're gonna show that off a little bit and try and get people excited about Vestman.
Especially after the announcement that Battlefront 2 is happening. Like,
I think they're going to let Rogue One hype handle the Death Star DLC, and I think. Because Battlefront, let's be honest, is not doing well right now.
Well, it was weird because like that initial spike, like people were like, oh my god, Star Wars is so pretty, it's so awesome. But I mean, we haven't played it. I haven't played it in a long time, and I have the season pass. I bought the big version of it, but I never. Yeah. I have not. I've not really played the first expansion at all. Like we played for a couple hours that one night, but that was it. I've not gotten back into it, and it's weird. I don't know.
I have not played it since May the 4th. Like, since that live stream, not touched the game, to be honest. Like, and that was just because it was May the 4th, and like, you have to play it. It's Star Wars.
Yeah, and it sucks because I think that game is it's a really pretty game, but the shallow depth of the gameplay is just it's so bad because everything feels the same.
Why instead of Battlefront 2, I wish they had just said, look, we know, here's a campaign. It's DLC. Do it for $40, whatever. That would have been a little bit more palatable to me than here's another game. And sorry about the 120 you spent on the last
first one, which is it's. I mean, that's why I don't think we'll see Battlefront 2 stuff here, just because it would be a complete death blow to a lot of people. I think that franchise. I think Battlefront 2 will be way better than Battlefront 1. Because I think it'll be like Titanfall, where they add stuff in, like a campaign. If they add a campaign into that,
you're just going to have some bitter players.
Yes.
Myself included.
Yeah, I mean, I probably will buy it just because if it's as good as looking as this one.
All right, guys, I am Jose Sanchez here with my buddy Alex. Boy Mendez.
It always happens. Your friends get in it, talk about it.
It's exciting times, folks. We're going to have great games all across the board from guys like Respawn.
Hold on. I hear voices in my head. Give me a second here.
I'm excited.
I hear voices. I hear voices.
What are you excited
I got to mute it. That's the live stream we're going to go to afterwards.
Get the tinfoil hat.
Sorry, guys. Back to Skype. First time doing this. They went live on the live stream.
Get your tinfoil hat.
By the way,
chat. There's voices
yeah.
in his head.
After this, we're gonna go to the live stream. But yeah, I forgot to mute that. Of all the things I didn't do. But yeah, I agree. I'm gonna be really bitter. I probably will buy the game though. I mean, if it's as good as Battlefront, and then better than if it's better than Battlefront, I will buy it because it's Star Wars. I mean, one of the things I wish they had in the current one, and I don't think they're going to do it, is I was talking to you the other night, David, about having ships. I wish they had more ships. Because I love Fighter Squadron. That's my favorite mode to play because I think I'm good at it. Versus the other ones, I suck. So that's partially it, but...
Battlefront 2 needs to have Clone Wars. It has to have Force Awakens stuff, new trilogy stuff. It's
got to be the full universe.
Maybe even leave original trilogy to Battlefront 1 and make that the draw. To Battlefront.
Well, it's like the Lego games where they had the Lego original trilogy, and then they had all the other ones, and they had the prequels. I think it's the same thing.
That game has me more excited about Star Wars stuff than any of the
Star Wars Force Awakens.
The little stuff that it is releasing looks so awesome to me.
That comes out next month? I think. No, September.
Yeah.
No. I don't know.
Did they delay it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't follow it, so I don't know when it comes out.
End of June.
So,
end of this month, I believe it. June 27th.
So the first, because that's the first
I don't know.
Star Wars Force Awakens game, right? Like official.
I believe so.
I believe it is. So I think that's it. So that being said, Star Wars, I have a feeling we'll see something Star Wars, whether it's just Battlefront DLC or whatever it may be. I'm kind of like you. I kind of want to see like an adventure game. Because there are two studios right now that EA's confirmed are working on Star Wars experiences. They have not said what. The other thing I want to know is that Star Wars Battlefront experience for PSVR. What that's going to look like, how that's going to function, that I'm super hyped about. So we'll see if they do.
Tatooine experience.
Yeah, let's see.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No, there's another one because that one was done by Lucas. Well, it used to be LucasArts. I don't know what they're called now. LIM or whatever it is. Lucas and Industrial Lighting something, I don't know, but there's that, and then EA said
Industrial Light and Magic.
That's it. I was like, I'm close. So there's that, and then there's also there's one that Battlefront's gonna have. They're gonna have an experience, quote unquote experience, is like a lot of the PSVR stuff is gonna be of Battlefront, and whether that's, I want them to tell me whether that's I'm flying in a ship or if that's me on the ground or on a speed racer. What is that experience that I'm getting, and how much is it? When's it going to come out? I mean, I'm excited for it, so we'll see. But I don't know. That's something I kind of want to see Star Wars wise. Going from Star Wars to another space odyssey, Mass Effect Andromeda, 2017. We have to see something, right? There has to be something.
A release date, maybe.
At
the most.
Another trailer.
Hopefully
gameplay
maybe
footage.
It depends where it's at.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna see how confident they are in the new release, because it doesn't seem like they're too thrilled about what's going on with it right now.
Well, the thing with it is that I get why they do it, but I hate that it's 2017 because that's a big time frame. Like even if they narrow it down to like a month, I'm like, hey, or quarter. Even if they do quarter, I'll be happy with a quarter. Yeah, give me like third quarter or second quarter. Let me know what it is, and I'd be happy with that. I think we have to see something though. There has to be, because that game went silent, and I think they need to build that hype train back up for next year.
Here's a prediction for you: they're going to announce February today, but it won't make February.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens so often these days.
It's funny because every game now that's getting released late 2016 is pushed to 2017. I mean, Yooka-Laylee. What was the other one? There's another one the other day that just got it. I can't remember what it is now, but there's been quite a few that have been pushed back.
I don't remember either.
There's quite a few.
Saw it on my YouTube feed on the No. They said something about it, but I forget which game it was.
But that being said, if they push back Andromeda, what I predict would happen was they will find a way to release the original trilogy as a stopgap. Either before that or bundled with... I don't think it'll be bundled with it, because that would not make as much sense business-wise, but I think they will find a way, because you had this game coming out, and somebody like me has never played the first three Mass Effects, and even Xbox has it on... the backwards compatibility, but PlayStation doesn't have anything. And what am I going to do? I'm going to go buy another console to play this trilogy before I get the new game? I don't know if I want to do that. So if they do a HD remaster, even if they just bring it over and just play it, I mean, I don't necessarily need I would love an HD remaster, but I want to play the series without having to buy another console.
Yeah. Well, Andromeda is a new hero.
Yeah.
Because Mass Effect 3 ends with Captain Shepard's story being told, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but yeah. So, you know, they could argue, hey, this is next gen story. This is, you know, we're pushing forward. This is, you know, we did that. We're not going to go back.
From a money perspective, though, think about how much money they can get on this hype train. I mean, that's the other thing too. Is like if
this depends on the amount of work.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I don't think about that part of things. I think about just them selling games because they have to rework all of it.
Right. Well, I mean, if it was no work at all,
they would just push it out and say, "Here you go."
It's like they keep talking about. I don't want to get too much into Bethesda, but they keep saying, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if it was Morrowind remaster they announced instead of Skyrim?" But if you look at the work they need to do, at least something like Oblivion is all voice. Morrowind is not. Yep. So they would have to get voice actors to come and re-record. It doesn't seem business.
Yeah,
that would be a
lot of money to do that. A lot of money to do that.
Whereas Skyrim, they already had said from when they one of the first things they did for Fallout 4 was actually port Skyrim over. So
you know it's there. I mean, that's I forgot about that. I forgot that was a thing. That makes that rumor. I mean, we'll talk about Bethesda later before their conference, but that makes that rumor even more realistic in my opinion because of that.
A preview of the Bethesda pre-show.
Yeah.
If you will. This is what it's
at
Skyrim remaster.
8:30 tonight.
Well, I mean, it ties back to Mass Effect because you know how much work does it take to go back and
especially
remaster
with all three games. I mean, doing a whole trilogy
that's
the Uncharted trilogy. I think it's partially though because Uncharted, Naughty Dog did with Uncharted, so it's like why can't X, Y, and Z do it? But also, the Uncharted trilogy was probably in the works for a few years. So they probably had plenty of time to plan that one out.
And who knows, the remaster may be a PC port down the line that they did. You know,
never know.
And are keeping exclusivity for now.
So the final game, I think I can almost guarantee we will see at the conference. And if we don't see it, then I think they did something wrong. Can you guys guess which one it is? Give you a hint. World War I.
Oh yeah, how are we forgetting about that?
Battlefield 1
of all things.
If there's
another game by DICE.
Yeah, DICE is doing some good stuff. If they don't show this off, that I mean, Call of Duty, say what you want about it, but the fact that so many more people liked the Battlefield 1 trailer versus the Call of Duty trailer, shows kind of where this game's at, and I think also it's. Not that war's been done before; it's nothing new. But World War I, from what I've seen with that trailer, is kind of they're putting a new twist on it and making just another shooter, which makes me excited. I mean, I'm not a fan of the shooter genre for most part, first person shooters other than like Star Wars and stuff. But I'm excited to see what this is.
It
looked fantastic. I mean, it's on the Frostbite. It's on Frostbite. It's on Frostbite. I mean, EA is moving all their stuff to Frostbite. Madden's moving to Frostbite. FIFA. I don't know if they announced 17 is on it or it's gonna be. I think 17 is gonna be on it. But all their stuff's moving to Frostbite, and if Battlefield and Battlefront's any indication of how these games are gonna look, like.
Right.
Yeah. For sure, on Frostbite, it's an excellent engine. I mean, Mirror's Edge runs on it. I'm going to keep bringing it back to Mirror's Edge. I'm sorry. But, like, Mirror's Edge, from the beta, it was a beta, though. It was kind of blurry a bit. But the final game, they have sharpened it up so much. I mean, the area of the city called The View, and it's gorgeous. Like, absolutely amazing. And it looked very real. Like I said the other night when I was doing this last mission where you have to ride a fan up a building, like, it looked so real. I got I felt so motion sick. I thought I was going to throw up on stream. Like the system, the engine is absolutely excellent for graphics.
But the question I have with that though is it's so pretty, but don't make sure we don't sacrifice gameplay, because you got to learn how to make gameplay work on that engine. So, but I think it's weird because like Uncharted is obviously right now on PS4 is the most gorgeous. Like, I think it's the most gorgeous game of this generation. Period. Xbox, PlayStation, maybe PC as an exception because you can put some massive beastly graphics cards into PC. But console generation, I think Uncharted 4 is arguably the best looking game we have as of right now. I think Battlefield will give it a run for its money for prettiest game, and I'm excited about that because I think it'll be the game that gets me back into that first person shooter with my friends, because I've not done that since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Just not my genre. So I mean, it is what it is. So
I think so. Now, is it being sold separately, or is it still? Or am I confusing this with the other?
Call of Duty's bundled. Battlefield, I think,
is the Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty is bundled. Okay. Battlefield is not. Right. Yeah. Yes. Call of Duty's bundled. Battlefield is not, which is why it's like $10 more to get Call of Duty, and as of right now, it looks like Battlefield's the better game. So it'll be interesting because, like I said, I'm not a big shooter fan, but I'm a big, I don't want to say war buff, but I love World War I and II because of the implication it has on the world. And I feel like a lot of times right now, I mean, look at what we talked about. We talked about Star Wars, we talked about Titanfall, we talked about Mass Effect. These are all space games. I want to come back to the Earth at some point and play a game on Earth. And whether it's history or modern day, I don't care. I just want to play on our planet.
What shocked me is when they released the trailer earlier, they released some, gameplay footage. Not only was it beautiful, but it looked new to me, even though it was old. It looked fresh. It looked different, which intrigued me, which is saying something for a game like that.
There was one in the trailer. There was I don't know what it was. It was it looked like a baton with spikes on it, or it might have been a grenade. I don't know. But hand-to-hand combat in a shooter, I can't wait to see kind of how they balance the trench warfare with the guns. Because you have to remember, I mean, those of you who are watching who are not very old, I mean, I'm not old enough, obviously, to remember World War I, but and from his...
I don't think
any of us are. But the technological leap that happened during World War I into World War II was such a big growth that they started out in World War I as mainly trench warfare. I mean, we think of war nowadays as dropping bombs and heavy machine guns and airplanes, and that's not that.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
World War I was brutal for that,
It was just pushing back and
people
forth.
would lose arms, legs. There was no coming back from that. It was.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I got shot. I have a bullet wound. It was. I got shot.
I'm done.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I either don't have a leg anymore, or you didn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, World War I kind of saw this shift from the traditional let's line up and fire in rows kind of warfare to this more, it became more advanced. You started seeing, obviously poison gas and things like grenade-like things, explosives, things like that. Tanks even, they were very unreliable, but you saw things like tanks. It was a very different... Yeah, it was a different... It was the evolution. It was where... battles started becoming more what it is now. It's not as formal. It was definitely very formal back then, before World War I. But now it's just it's different. It was more the shift.
It's less human too. I mean, this is gonna sound gruesome, but
definitely
drop a bomb, kill. I mean, dropping the atomic bomb, you killed however many millions of people, and then back then you had to shoot somebody in the face. That's how you killed somebody.
It's personal.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's just. It's a weird.
And now there's
thing.
drones. Now there's drones. Now there's you're dropping bombs from who knows how high. It's not personal anymore.
Yeah. So
So
to wrap this up, predictions for everybody was some sort of Star Wars thing. We will see. Something, whether it's Battlefront DLC, whatever it may be. Obviously, Titanfall has been announced. Titanfall 2 has been announced. They had a leak for the release date of I think it was October 28th. It was October sometime. So I wonder if they're gonna. I assume they're gonna probably reveal that because it's coming out this year. And then what else did we say? I'm missing something. Battlefield 1, obviously, going to be there. If it's not there, they screwed something up. And then Mass Effect, we don't know. Mass Effect's kind of the wild card here. Like, I think we should see something, but we don't know if they're going to have something there, whether it's going to be a cinematic trailer, a gameplay trailer, hey, here's a release date, here's a release window, whatever it may be. So we don't. That's kind of the one that's up in the air right now of whether that's going to be there. But that being said, we are going to switch over to the actual press conference here. When it's over, you guys can head back to come watch us, and we'll give our full thoughts on what we saw, any surprises. I'm hoping they pull something out of left field and just like make us go, holy shit, like Unravel. If they pull another Unravel out, how awesome would that be? I mean, we haven't talked anything about indie games, but EA had Unravel. I mean, they helped make that game a thing. So hang out after the conference, guys. Thanks to those of you who are currently watching. We appreciate it, but we are going to jump into the live stream for EA because it's going to start in the next 3 minutes, hopefully, if all goes right in California land. But check back in with us afterwards, after the conference, and we will give our final thoughts. These two will be joining me again. Thank you guys for joining me on the lovely Level 2 pre-show. Tigrado, the guy with the hat on, check out his channel. It's at Tigrado Power. David doesn't have a channel. He just likes talking video games with me. So, say hi. Everybody say hi, David. So, that being said, we're gonna switch over to the stream now, guys, and we will see you afterwards. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful time.
Bye.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to EA Play, coming to you live from the Novo in Los Angeles. It's always cool to be part of something new. This is a brand new event, a brand new venue, and we're kicking things off with a new type of show. Now, we all know you have an insatiable appetite to dive deep into the games you love, but we could never give you everything you want in 60 minutes. And let's be honest, even if we could, you'd also probably rather see and hear it from the community anyway. We get it. So consider this next hour to be a taste, a quick glimpse into a bunch of great stuff that we have in development. This is us opening up the door, welcoming in our players, influencers, media, and partners. We're inviting you in to play. We're surrounded here by hundreds of game stations. Thousands of you will get hands-on with our games this week. Unfortunately, more of you won't. But the content creators here are the ones who can tell you what they see, what they feel, what they like, and even what they don't. And that's fine too. We want your feedback. We want to know what you think. Just as long as you take some time to play. Of course, EA Play is a global experience. So here's a twist. Someone had this crazy idea of hosting EA Play in not one, but 2 locations. And then, I'm pretty sure it was that same person had an even crazier idea of seeing if we could join them live via satellite. So let's welcome Peter Moore and hundreds of our friends from London.
We're good. Hi, Andrew. As you can hear, we've got a great crowd here in London. We're at the iconic Hammersmith Apollo Theater. We've got 100 game stations back there. I've got 600 of my best friends. What a great-looking group they are. We are going to have a blast tonight. Back to you.
Thanks, Peter. We'll be back with you in just a bit. Let's quickly set the stage for what you'll see over the next hour. We will take a look into the future of EA Star Wars games. BioWare will take us further into the next intense chapter of the Mass Effect universe. From EA Sports, we have both competition and story. And of course, Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 are both here today. Right away after this show, we will actually host the first ever live-streamed 64-player Battlefield 1 match. Now, here's a question for you. Did any of you see the Battlefield trailer last month? I know you did, and I know a bunch of you were thinking, is this real? Are there actually going to be airships and horses and trench knives and shovels? So 2 things. 1, yes, and 2, you can see it for yourselves. Not in another trailer, but with an hour of gameplay live streamed around the world just an hour from now. A few thoughts before we get into the action. Just a decade ago, there were about 200 million game players in the world. We thought that was a lot. Now there are 2.6 billion and growing. We are all part of a global phenomenon. At its core is play, something that is increasingly important to our lives today. For many of us, games are vital. That's what drives us to make games and continue building, creating, innovating, and exploring. We know just how important it is. We see it as our responsibility to help people on all corners of the globe experience play. Because we all play to live. This will be a fantastic 3 days, so let's get started. First up is a great friend and the mastermind behind one of the industry's most compelling franchises, Vince Zampella.
Thank you, Andrew. Well, everyone, it's great to be back near E3. So, Titanfall introduced millions of players around the world to the fast, fluid Pilot and Titan gameplay that is at the heart of Titanfall. And with the release of Titanfall 2, we're excited to welcome PS4 players to the franchise for the first time. We'll start off with a look at what players can expect out of Titanfall multiplayer.
Go, go, go!
love it. So, Titanfall 2 builds on the signature Pilot and Titan gameplay to deliver a more robust experience, backed by the depth and variety our fans have been asking for. This includes 6 new Titans, each with their own unique combat abilities, expanded Pilot gameplay, more customization options, and a deep progression system. And of course, super smooth gameplay that we've always delivered. Prior to launch, we'll be holding a multiplayer technical test designed to help us stress key features of the game. To play the multiplayer test, go to Titanfall.com and sign up to get all the details. Now, for the 4 people that didn't see the leak this morning, and if you know this, sing along with me, I'm excited to confirm single player. So we'll be adding a full offline playable campaign to Titanfall 2. It'll be crafted to dive deeper into the Titanfall universe, exploring the unique bond between Pilot and Titan, taking full advantage of the movement and combat to deliver a feeling of being unstoppable together. And now here is the debut of the single-player trailer for Titanfall 2, coming October 28th to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Thank you, everyone.
BT-7274. Your data recorder says your original pilot was killed in action.
Correct. My original pilot was KIA. I am now linked to Rifleman Jack Cooper.
Who authorized this?
We had no other options.
What are your protocols?
Protocol 1. Link to pilot. Protocol 2. Uphold the mission. Protocol 3.
BT!
Protect the pilot.
Stand by for Titanfall.
Trust me.
Welcome to Denver. I'm Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis as the 2016 NFL season is underway.
This the game that shows us. Pioneer started on my corner like the corn rush. Had lining up the block like a gold rush. Saying live fast and die young is what they told us.
Here we go. Just 3 seconds left. The Broncos fighting for their playoff lives. The snap, hold, it's blocked. T.J. Ward blocked it. And in the most improbable of ways, Denver is going to the playoffs.
That is Madden NFL 17 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and as always, the game looks incredible. This year, Madden lets you take your team all the way with the most balanced gameplay to date, new ways to play in franchise mode, and an all-new commentary team. It personifies everything we love about sports: passion, intensity, and, of course, competition. Competition in the world of gaming is esports, and it's absolutely electric. Elite players, a global stage, and of course, big paydays. From the first Madden Challenge 14 years ago to today's competitive battlefield scene, and of course, the FIFA Interactive World Cup, EA is no stranger to the power of elite competition. But the spectacle of esports barely scratches the surface of competition. It's a select few that become pro gamers. That is why EA is embracing a new approach to competitive gaming. We want to make stars of all of our players. With new competitive modes and weekly online contests in our biggest franchises, we're making competition fun and meaningful for everyone, regardless of their ability. As such, I'm excited to announce 3 awesome new ways to compete: Challenger events, Premier events, and EA Major events. With our Challenger series of events, we'll be giving the community an ability to be more easily hosting and running their own tournaments. Next up is the Premier series. These are large-scale live events that we'll host with partners from inside and outside of the gaming world. And finally, there are EA Major events. These are marquee live events run by EA on a global stage. The best players competing for the biggest prizes. And it all starts this weekend at EA Play in Los Angeles with our first EA Major event, the Madden NFL 16 Championship. In a moment, we'll welcome ESPN's Stan Verrett to the stage in LA, who will introduce you to the 8 finalists. But first, let's meet 2 of the fiercest Madden competition out there, Eric Problem Wright and Zach Serious Mo Lane.
The greatest of all time is the guy to beat.
This guy just wins.
Being the best in the world often inspires awe, reverence, respect. But when you're the best in the world at a video game, everyone thinks they can take you down.
Every day on Twitter, there's people coming in saying that they can beat me. Usually I just respond in the nature of something like, Floyd Mayweather doesn't fight, Joe Schmo off the street. I am the greatest of all time when it comes to Madden football.
I'm here to win, and whoever's in the way is just, another person that's going to have to get laid out.
I'd like to believe that I'm the best Madden player in the world.
Give it up for Serious Mo!
If anybody can be the heir to problems thrown, a lot of people feel it's going to be Serious Mo.
I'd kind of dedicated my life to this. When I was 16, I was at the top of my class, but I would go to school with no sleep from being up all night playing Madden.
Being a full-time video game player is hard for a lot of people to understand. It is tough. It is tough to do, and I'll play as many hours as I can just to really get ahead of the competition.
Both Problem and Serious Mo have a claim to the top of the Madden world, and the issue may be settled at the Madden Championship. It's a tournament that started with 1 million players in online qualifiers and ends this week, live in Los Angeles, with $50,000 at stake. These would-be rivals are actually close friends, but don't expect them to take it easy on each other if they meet with a title on the line.
Oh, there's no question I'm going to win the Madden Challenge this time around.
I wish him the best of luck, but, I got to beat him.
It started with 1 million players competing online, and now only these 8 remain. The best Madden NFL players in the world. All world-class competitors. They're at the top of their game, but only one is going to be the winner. Let's meet one of the guys here who appears to be a little injured. This is Serious Mo. You saw in the piece. What happened?
I was racing a friend, didn't have my shoes tied, fell down, broke my collarbone.
Didn't have your shoes tied? Are they tied now? No. No, they're not tied. All right, we don't want you to fall off the stage. All right, best of luck to you. Best of luck to all of you guys. Now, it's going to be an awesome competition. If you can't be here at EA Play to see it in person, you can tune in. You can watch on Twitch, YouTube, or tune into ESPN3 to watch all the action live, or join us at ESPN2, 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday for the finals. Now, let's send it back to Peter in London.
Thank you, Stan. Looking forward to some great action this week. But let's also take a moment to talk about the year ahead. I'm excited to announce the Madden NFL 17 Championship Series. Next year, everything gets bigger and better. How much better? We're putting up $1 million in total prize money. Now, it takes full-time dedication to be the best, and we want to reward our elite players for their skill and commitment. The Madden 17 Championship Series is a full year of high-stakes action that spans 4 EA majors and more events to be announced soon. But it's not just Madden. At EA, competition is at the heart of everything we'll do. And we'll have more news about more events and more games to share soon. So stay tuned. And here's to a great year of competition ahead. But now, let's go back to Los Angeles. Here's the general manager of BioWare, my good friend, Aaron Flynn.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. At the heart of Mass Effect Andromeda is a question. How far will we go? In the game, you are part of an ambitious expedition, leaving the Milky Way galaxy to help humanity find a new home. You travel millions of light years to the Andromeda galaxy. You wake up. Now what? Everything is new. New planets, new species, new technologies. You must be among the most courageous, the most daring to go on this journey. Because this is a galaxy where you are the alien. How far will we go? That question is also at the heart of the development of Mass Effect Andromeda. The Mass Effect trilogy is a huge part of our history and the lives of many of our fans. It was an amazing story, but this is a whole new adventure. We're building on the things you love about Mass Effect, amazing stories and gameplay, and now we're letting our imaginations run wild. This is a bigger adventure filled with a whole new cast of memorable characters and more freedom than we've ever given players in a BioWare game. And for the first time, it's all powered by Frostbite, which means you're going to see, hear, and feel Mass Effect like never before. That's our promise to you. So how far will we go? Well, we can't wait to share more with you this fall. Here's a look behind the scenes at Mass Effect Andromeda. Thank you.
Our survival as a species has always depended on our drive to seek out the undiscovered, push beyond our limits, and expand the boundaries of our known world. With Mass Effect, we are going further than ever before. To Andromeda, to build a new home for humanity. Imagine distant star systems with remote and hostile planets, teeming with alien life and civilizations. Worlds where adventure, danger, and the unknown are waiting to be discovered. We've created a universe that you will lose yourself in, a whole new galaxy for you to explore.
All right. How's everyone doing? Okay. I hope you're loving what you've seen so far. We've still got a bunch more ahead, including FIFA, Star Wars, and of course, Battlefield 1. But first, let's have a practical conversation about play. Many of these games we're talking about today are months away. Meanwhile, I'm sure you're all playing games that you've already invested a ton of time in. So our commitment is to support the community. It's a commitment to continue delivering new content to enjoy with your friends. In just the last year alone, we delivered more than 300 game updates to our most popular games. This year, that number will be even higher. And for EA Play this week, we have our biggest collection of content updates ever across both console, PC, and mobile. We've also got free trials to help you discover and try something new this week, like the Outer Rim expansion for Star Wars Battlefront, or check out some new games through EA Access for Xbox One and Origin Access for PC. Both have more than 20 great games available in the vault, and they are free for everyone to try all week long. Now here's one more way we hope you'll play this week. We have a new program called Play to Give. It's a big deal for us, and it's unlike anything we've ever done before. We're bringing together in-game challenges with charitable donations. First, the charities. At EA, we celebrate charitable causes that encourage a more diverse and inclusive world for all of us, as well as those that inspire and assist future game makers through STEM education. So we've partnered with 5 great organizations for EA Play: the UN He for She Initiative, National Center for Women and Information Technology, Special Effect, Code.org, and Code 2040. Now the challenges. There are 5 of them that are designed to celebrate our player community this week. Some examples. In Battlefield 4 and Battlefield Hardline, there's a new objective that's based on helping out your teammates in need. We're celebrating strong female characters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as you deploy a special squad to battle against the droids. And in FIFA Ultimate Team, if you can win with the Play to Give Cup, you'll receive an untradeable rare mega pack. It all comes together at the end of EA Play when we donate $1 million in celebration of the importance of play. Now let me send it back to Peter for some big news on FIFA 17. Peter, over to you.
Let me check. How's everyone doing? I think we're winning. Thanks, Andrew, and welcome back to London. Now, like me, I know many of you are excited that we're in the middle of a summer full of football. England looked good last night, till about the 92nd minute. But to be here in England at the heart of football, there's no better place to show you what's next. You'll see in a moment just how far FIFA has come from its debut in 1993. This is a revolutionary year for FIFA, for the most popular sports game on the planet. This is FIFA 17.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
But you will. My name is Alex Hunter, and just like you and every other kid that's grown up kicking about a football, I've always dreamed of playing on the biggest stage for the best tactical minds in the game, alongside the greatest names. Playing in the park with my mates, I've already pictured it. Taking flawless 50-yard passes from Beckham, sending in Messi with the perfect through ball, burying it in the top corner like Rooney. Now, I have the chance to make that dream my reality. To pull on a Premier League shirt and maybe even one day step into the center circle of Wembley, 3 lions on my chest. This is the start of my journey. I know it won't be easy, but if I can perform on the pitch, make the right decisions off it, and take advantage of every opportunity that comes my way, this is the start of my journey. And you're all coming with me.
With
We've heard a lot about the talent of this young man, Alex Hunter. He had a wide choice of clubs to sign for. Today his journey begins as he makes his Premier League debut.
I haven't seen a kid coming out of the exit trials generate this much interest in years. I never expected anything like this.
Yes! A goal for Alex Hunter on his debut.
You're in the big league now. You have to raise your game.
You need representation, you call me.
Wow! Check this place out!
Just don't get too carried away. Can disappear just like that. Life doesn't always give you what you want, does it? I'm ready.
You'll get your opportunity, Hunter.
Just get me out of there.
Oh, we might as well pack this season in now.
What was he thinking?
I want to stay and fight for my place. I won't let you down.
Alex Hunter, an outstanding goal. Welcome to the Premier League. This young man has everything.
We're going to make history.
Incredible! Hunter!
My name is Alex Hunter. You don't know me, but believe me, you soon will.
So that's amazing. What you just saw is a brand new experience in FIFA 17 called The Journey. You'll live your Premier League story through the player we just met, Alex Hunter. That is the power of Frostbite, FIFA 17's brand new engine. You'll live in real football worlds, and you'll meet characters full of depth and emotion. And maybe nobody shows more emotion than the managers on the sidelines. And as such, for the first time ever, Premier League managers are in the game. So that means if we're launched today, we'd have 3 of the most legendary managers in FIFA 17. Check them out. Pep Guardiola, set to join the league. The legendary Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. And of course, my favorite of them all, at the best club in the world, Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Now, these managers are the best. These 3 are the best, second to none. More than 1,500 wins between them, with 10 league championships and 2... Did I say 3? I'm not quite sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Mourinho. So I apologize. I don't write the scripts here. I don't do the game. Jose, of course, is in the game. And it is a great honor for Jose to join the EA family, to be in FIFA 17 as the great manager now, of course, of Manchester United. We've rendered you in the game. I don't know if we can have a look. Can we get Jose up in the game?
But I'm still upset with you.
You're still upset? What about you are? You're going to be more upset when you come to Anfield this season.
We are 20 of us. You choose 3.
Just 3.
You leave us 17 out.
I know.
I'm not
sorry.
happy with that.
Yeah. See that? First of all, he looks great. Secondly, I can tell you on behalf of all of us football fans, it's great having the personality and the skill and the talent that is Jose Mourinho back in the Premier League. And thirdly, I can't wait to bring them to Anfield and show them where real football is played. Having said that, it is great having you in the game. I know your son's a big player.
Yes, he is.
Who does he play as? Here's the question. Do you know?
I don't know, really. I just know that I can wake up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning with his noise.
Yeah. Does he spend money on Ultimate Team that you're aware of?
Yeah, I control the debit cards, and yes.
Well, I think we've all seen your contract, so I think there's plenty of Ultimate Team business to be had. So it's going to be great having the managers in there, and it's even more important to have Jose Mourinho, one of the great personalities of football for the last 20 years, and all of the things that he's done for this game. We couldn't be more happy to have you in the game. I know your son needs some early code for the game. I think I can take care of that. So, but ladies and gentlemen, please thank Jose Mourinho for joining us here. Welcome.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Jose. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I didn't call him the special one. He doesn't like it. Okay, we've shown you a lot today, but we're not done. It is my pleasure to introduce you to FIFA producer Aaron McCarty. Aaron.
Well, thank you, Peter. It's great to be here in London. But for me and for the development team back in Vancouver, it's amazing to finally be able to show you the journey. Now, the best thing about the journey is you're in control of your story off the pitch. But in FIFA, just like football, the most important thing is what happens on the pitch. And that's especially true in gameplay. We're bringing complete innovation to the game this season. We've got 4 big transformations that let you own every moment, and we're bringing more control than ever before. Here they are. We've rewritten set pieces to give you creative control over every dead ball. We completely overhauled physical play. We built a new intelligence system so our players are smarter and more active off the ball. And we're giving you new ways to create chances and finish in front of goal. And those massive transformations are inspired by some of the best young football talent in the game. Let's meet them now through the lens of FIFA 17.
Okay, guys, a new season, a fresh start. Today is about winning. In football, this is the most important thing. When we win, we make the fans happy. They are why we train. They are why we are here. So remember what we need to do. Be strong on the ball. Make intelligent runs. Be ruthless in front of goal. And own every moment. The time has come. You are ready. The fans are ready. Now, go show them why we are the best.
Great strength there from Hazard. What a run from Royce. Martial, hard and low. That is world class from James Rodriguez.
Make them happy. Make them sing your name. When you play for the fans, that is when we win.
So about this time last year, we surprised you with something unexpected. With Unravel, you met Yarny, a tiny little character with a huge heart going on an epic adventure. You also met Martin Salin, a passionate and creative game maker from the Cold War studio that brought Yarny to life. We knew Unravel would steal your hearts because it stole ours. But it also showed us something profound. When we first saw Unravel, we saw a game that we knew deserved the world's attention. It deserved to be played. We also know that there are more out there, more studios like Cold War, more games like Unravel. Passionate developers telling amazing stories, creating spectacular games. We are committed to working with small developers, finding these great new games, and giving all of you a chance to discover their magic. So today, we are very excited to announce EA Originals. Our EA Originals program is about 3 things. Firstly, it's about taking first-time experiences that are unique, gorgeous, innovative, and memorable, and bringing them to the world. Secondly, it's about supporting small developers and helping them make the most of their games. Now, we'll seek out a few projects each year for EA Originals and partner with them through the whole process from development to marketing to publishing. And lastly, it's about funding and offering a level of security. Now, making games is hard. It's a hard business. And these small developers have risked themselves to develop a new IP and created games great games deserve to be played. Now, check this out. With EA Originals, we want all the profit from these games to go back into the hands of the developers, so they can keep innovating and creating into the future. Now, we've already begun with EA Originals, so please welcome to our stage Klaus Lyngeled from Zoink Games in Gothenburg. He's here to take you into the beautiful world of our first EA Originals game called Fe.
Hi, everyone. Wow, it's amazing to be here, joining you all at EA Play here in Los Angeles. It's really huge for me, and I'm super excited to be here. I run a small game studio in Sweden, in Gothenburg, called Zoink, and we're about 20 people brought together by our fascination for new approaches to interactive storytelling and art. And recently, we've been on a journey with a very special new project. And thanks to Patrick and EA, we're here today to bring you along with us. Let me introduce you to the world of Fe. At its heart, Fe is a personal narrative about our relationship with nature. It's a game without words, a celebration of our longing to be one with the world around us. It's a story that reminds us that everything in this world is connected, living in a delicate balance that is constantly under threat. You awaken as a young cub, all alone in a dark forest glade, and you have no idea who you are or how you got there. But as you spy from the treetops, you'll soon come to know the extraordinary creatures that live in this forest. And you'll find that they are all connected through their own language, a language of strange and beautiful music. See, every animal, every breathing creature, and even the plants, they all have their own unique song. And by learning them, you can connect to the forest, to understand it, to be part of it. Each song you learn will help you reach new parts of the forest and take you ever closer to discovering the secret of your own kind. But you are not the only newcomer to the forest. The silent ones corrupt the forest and spread their silence with each step. As you evade them using stealth and cunning, you will uncover their terrible purpose. This is a game full of discovery, conflict, and relationships. But as you explore the world of Fe, we're not going to hold your hand. The game won't tell you where to go, what to do, or how to think. We will set the stage and invite you into the forest for your own personal experience. An experience that will leave you scared, amazed, and delighted. In the forest, your discoveries will be your own. I'm very proud to now show you more about the beautiful world of Fe. Thank you.
It's great to be here to talk about our Star Wars games. Right now, we have teams across the world creating a wide range of Star Wars games for all types of Star Wars fans. These teams are being led by some of the creative minds who have made some of our favorite games of the last decade. And now they're channeling their talent and passion to bring you all new experiences that will span many corners of the Star Wars universe for years to come. Let's break it down. Already today, you can play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Star Wars The Old Republic, and of course, Star Wars Battlefront. Each of these games are live and getting fresh, new content all year long. Next year, you're going to get a new installment of Star Wars Battlefront. Led by DICE, in collaboration with Motive, we're building on the foundation of the first game. We're listening to our players and adding more of what you want, including content from the new films. Then coming in 2018 is a new action-adventure game from Visceral Games. Amy Hennig and team are creating an original narrative in the Star Wars universe with new characters. And beyond that, we've got more amazing projects in store, including one from our partners at Respawn Entertainment. They are exploring a different Star Wars era in their own third-person action-adventure game. We can't wait for you to play these games. I can't wait to play them myself. Here's a special peek behind the curtain at the EA Star Wars games we're working on with Lucasfilm. Thank you, and may the Force be with you.
The Star Wars universe is growing day by day with the comics, the films, the games, you name it. And to be a part of that and to work with Lucasfilm is incredibly exciting. So what we're really trying to do at EA is cater to different areas of the Star Wars universe and create different game experiences that are tailor-made for those fans.
With Star Wars Battlefront, we wanted to really be able to bring people into the world of Star Wars like never before. What excites me now is bringing in more characters, more planets, more environments, more eras. And that's why we're super happy to have both Motive Studios and Criterion contributing in a significant way.
There's no point in making something in the Star Wars IP if you're just going to do what's been done before, right? So it's a fantastic opportunity for Motive to really tell the world what we're about. And we're going to bring that to Battlefront, which is, it's crazy. It's incredible.
As a studio, our promise to gamers is ultimately gameplay first. We all demand that the game has these huge wow moments that translates really well into the Star Wars universe. We're going to deliver that Star Wars awe like fans have never seen before.
With Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, we talked a lot about how we grew up as kids with Star Wars, and we collected toys, we'd bring them over to a friend's house, and we'd set up these battles where sometimes it was what we'd seen in the films, and sometimes it was just this random mashup of stuff that we wanted to play from our own imagination. Our aim is to bring in characters from all the films, all the TV shows, and even beyond.
Star Wars is what got me into role-playing games in the first place, that storytelling you did as a kid with your Star Wars action figures. With Star Wars The Old Republic, the choices you make, the freedom you have, that's really at the heart of a BioWare game. And beyond The Old Republic, there are so many stories that we still want to tell.
Our goal has always been not to just sort of make a game that is set in the Star Wars universe, but to really tell an authentic Star Wars story. And that's actually a hugely different thing. How do you ground the new and unfamiliar in the familiar? You need the guidance of someone like Doug Chiang to show you the way.
One of the great joys of working with Amy is she is like a film director in many ways, because she is telling her story and I'm helping to realize her world.
EA has some really exciting plans in the works for the Star Wars portfolio, and what we're doing is bringing in talent from across the industry and letting them loose. We have completely different games on the horizon, and I just hope that every fan walks away going, wow, I never thought they were going to bring my Star Wars fantasy to life.
Thank you, Jade, and thank you to all our studio teams working on Star Wars games today. So, here we are. One last game. Let's talk Battlefield 1. You might be wondering why I'm up here again. Well, my journey with Battlefield started over 2 decades ago, when DICE was still a small indie studio. We were dreaming about conquering the world and sharing our games with more and more players. Now, I've been involved in each and every part of this series, and it's humbling to serve a Battlefield community today that has grown to more than 60 million players around the world. That is truly incredible, so thank you. It also means that we have a great responsibility to deliver on the promise of Battlefield with every game. We have to take creative risks, to pioneer. So we knew from the start that Battlefield 1 could be no ordinary game. Now, let me tell you a quick story about the inception of Battlefield 1. A few years ago, 2 guys in our studio at DICE in Stockholm, Stefan Strandberg and Martin Kopparhed, kept telling me that they had the concept for the next Battlefield. And each time we met, they showed me more and more ideas from the team. Now, I'll be honest, I was skeptical. I was like really skeptical. And I told them, I don't think we have it yet. But they kept pushing, they kept coming back. And then one late night in Stockholm, they brought me a very special pitch. An absolutely mind-boggling pitch, unmistakably Battlefield, and set in a very unique take on World War I. Right then and there, that's when we knew we had to make this game. So when you stand here introducing a game like Battlefield 1 to tens of millions of dedicated players, you know the risks were worth it.
So that was just a piece of our EA Play trailer, and you'll get to see the full version in just a bit. But first, I want you to know that our team at DICE in Stockholm has huge ambitions for Battlefield 1. We've set out to deliver an epic and unforgettable experience for our players. And the result is a dynamic experience where no battle is ever the same. But as talented as our DICE team is, it is you, the Battlefield community, that powers the team. That is why at the world premiere last month, we revealed Battlefield 1 alongside our players. We want the community to be part of this every step of the way. And today marks another exciting milestone in the road to Battlefield 1, our first in-depth look at gameplay. And to reveal that, I'm honored that we have players from our community here to lead the first ever live stream of Battlefield 1 immediately following the press conference. And our host, Jose Sanchez, is with a few of them right now.
Thanks, guys. I am excited because today we are going to see actual gameplay straight from Battlefield 1 under the command of 2 solid teams with players like Jamie Foxx, Zac Efron are going to be on those teams. Are you guys pumped for tonight's event?
Yes. Jazzed. Can't wait. Dude, stoked.
I know I'm excited, and coming up in a few minutes, we have the Battlefield Squad's live stream kicking off. 64 players going head-to-head, 32 v 32 in a best-of-3 matchup, and I can't wait to see wins. Good luck to the both of you guys and your respective teams. Now let's go back up to Patrick and find out exactly what makes this game so epic.
Thank you, Jose. So only in Battlefield 1 will you engage in some of the biggest battles ever seen, as you squad up in epic multiplayer matches with up to 64 players. Now that's going to be really cool to watch. And in just a few minutes, you'll get to see how no battle is ever the same. Through the power of Frostbite, intuitive destruction, dynamic weather, and a variety of weapons and vehicles makes this the most immersive and dynamic Battlefield game ever. So let's start by talking destruction, a hallmark for Battlefield. In Battlefield 1, destruction is more intuitive and natural than ever. This creates unlimited gameplay possibilities as you impact the world around you. And next, dynamic weather. Weather will now change unpredictably, so you will need to adjust your tactics based on the conditions. So playing the same map on a bright day or in heavy fog or rain will impact what you see or hear, so you have to adapt your playstyle. And finally, an impressive variety of weapons and vehicles add to the range of experience you'll have on the battlefield. And most notable, the introduction of the ultimate vehicles, the behemoths. The Great War gave birth to some of the largest vehicles ever made, and Battlefield 1 gives you the chance to control these beasts. Take control of an airship, armored train, or a battleship to dominate the battlefield across air, land, and sea. An all-out war has never felt so epic. When Battlefield 1 launches on October 21st, worldwide, you will experience destruction, weather, and a variety of weapons and vehicles that ensure no battle is ever the same. And for those of you who are Battlefield insiders, you get an early access to experience this firsthand during the open beta later this summer. All right. In just a few minutes, the Battlefield Squad's live stream will begin. But first, let's take another look at Battlefield 1. Thank you.
We're going to change the world indeed. It looks absolutely amazing, Battlefield 1. So that's our show. We have Battlefield 1 playables right behind me here in London. We've got Titanfall 2. We've got FIFA 17. We've got Madden 17. We here in London are going to have a great time tonight. We're here through midnight. It's going to be phenomenal. Andrew, I'm sure you're going to have the same there. Back to you in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Peter. All right, so that's our show. And now, the way I see it, I'm the only thing standing between you and an hour of Battlefield 1 gameplay. So let's keep this quick. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you to all of you here in Los Angeles. And, of course, thank you to everyone in London as well. We're just getting started here at EA Play, so stay with us. There's a lot more to come. And now it's time to play. Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Cool. I had to reset. I had to replug in. So I'm gonna go live here. We're not live yet. Hold on. I'm gonna flip it live here before we do any reactions. James, get your camera on. Cool. Well, I'm gonna flip over so when you're back, we're gonna be in a live discussion here. Just FYI.
Movie. I know this is bad, but
We are live.
Please work.
Wow. That's all I'm gonna say is wow.
Yeah.
That was a conference and a half, to say the least. Let me turn my fan off here.
But come on.
Yeah. So, what'd you guys think? Because I mean, obviously, I'm waiting for the stream to catch up here. Boom. So, lots of things were announced. A lot of things we got right. Titanfall 2, obviously that seemed to be a leak this morning. The first single player, I think that was kind of their big punch that they were going to come with, and it never happened. We got a multiplayer trailer, which looks just like Black Ops 3 from, I think, what we said in the chat. Looked a lot like Black Ops 3. And release date, October 28th. Go.
I think if you gave us this information 20 minutes before we went on, we could have done a better job of presenting that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
This conference was like, so let's take a step back. The whole conference seemed very predictable, very slow, other than I think the what'd they call it? The indie one. EA Originals was really cool. I think that's probably the coolest part of the thing. And then obviously the Battlefield 1 stuff was just awesome. I mean, let's be honest, that was whew. So
yeah,
I gotta try to digest.
Yeah.
I have, just so you all know, I have notes here. I have like a page and a half of notes that I took during it. So again, I'm gonna go do it down real quick, and we'll break things down individually. Titanfall 2 multiplayer looks like Black Ops 3, from my opinion. Single player campaign was revealed October 28th. Madden has a new commentary team, has new competitive modes, weekly contests. They had 3 different events for the EA or for esports. They have a championship series, $1 million prize. Mass Effect, powered by Frostbite, showing more this fall. I put a question mark there. We're going to talk about that in a second. Cinematic trailer, gorgeous looking, no release date. FIFA is now on Frostbite. Live in reality, real football worlds. Managers now on the sideline. Premier League managers in the game. EA Originals, support small developers, original ideas, funding for a level of security. Then FIFA was announced part of that. Star Wars Battlefront / Star Wars stuff. Content for new films, PSVR game. That's about what I got. And then Battlefield we got in-game footage. We got a release date of October 21st. And then a couple other things that we're going to go in depth about. So, what are we going to... So, let's start with, like I said, we're starting with Titanfall. So, Titanfall 2. I think we all kind of agreed from what I saw that the multiplayer looked like Black Ops. It wasn't very impressive. Right?
It's funny because the original was only multiplayer, and that's what was its draw.
Mm-hmm.
And now, here it is now with a campaign, and the campaign is what
the draw is.
At least to me, it looks way more interesting than, say, just the multiplayer. The multiplayer is whatever.
Yeah, it was weird because like at first I was like, I don't want this game at all. Like when the multiplayer, right. I was like, I don't want this, and then they pulled out that single player, and I was like, oh, maybe I do. And it sucks because that was leaked before, so I knew I'd seen that trailer already. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. It's that weird feeling of like, do I want to spend $60 on this game because I think I'll enjoy the single player, but I don't know how I feel about the multiplayer. So,
right. I mean, that's what gives you the longevity, is the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's not that great, then you play the single player,
mm-hmm.
and then you're done with the game. So
Yeah, I mean the campaign.
Depends on-
I assume the campaign's probably going to be. How long do you think the campaign's going to be? I wanna hope for like 10 to 12, but that's pushing a lot. I don't think it'll be that, but based on what I saw, I hope it's that. But I doubt it will be.
It depends on how they see the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they see this as being the next another Halo to them? You know, if that's the case, and if they take anything from what they learn now, I mean, I don't know how too late it is for Titanfall 2, but Titanfall 3, you know, obviously they're thinking down the line of that. They have to think epic story that keeps going and it's interesting. Otherwise, you don't care. This game's going to die like the first one did. And then you're back to trying to...
It's interesting because, like, I think they have the ability to make the story really cool and really compelling. We don't know.
Right.
We won't know until the game comes out.
Exactly.
But I really do hope this game. Like I said, it's weird because it's also not my type of game. But I keep looking at my notes if I'm looking down. By the way,
right.
It's just one of those things where like the single player aspect of it just is so cool that I think I would enjoy it that much that I might pay full price. But I might have to see a little bit more before I do so. But that being said, the release date was October 28th of this year. So right in time for holidays. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be that crazy, like November was last year. October is going to be that this year from what I've been seeing, which sucks because I spent over $400 in video games in November last year. Half of that was Star Wars, but...
Right. Also, that's assuming they all release.
That's assuming they all released on time, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, James, do you have any input? I know you're having trouble with your face cam. Do you have any input on this? Because we can hear you.
Yeah, I thought the single player, it looked, oh my gosh, yeah, my camera is totally screwed right now. But the single player looked excellent to me. It looked, I mean, just that part, I didn't really see it so well the first time because I was kind of talking to you guys when I was watching that trailer. And at the beginning of this stream, honestly, my stream was really choppy, so I fixed it.
Yeah.
But I saw, like, the Titan, the whole thing with the Titan interacting with the person, that whole story going into the relationship between Titan and human, that looks really interesting to me, single player wise. And then the whole way the Titan will interact, like that thing at the end where the Titan's like, trust me, and he just throws the pilot like into some giant, that would be motion sickness right there again. But it looked like he was going to throw the pilot into this epic wall run, and the pilot just goes into whatever he's going into. I mean, that looks excellent.
So,
but yeah, it looks, single player looks excellent. Multiplayer looks like it's something we've seen before. It's not really new.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah. Yeah. So here's a question. Do you think? I think I know what the answer is going to be. Do you think Titanfall will have any sort of VR capabilities? Because it seems like a perfect thing for that, because you're not moving, you're sitting in a chair or whatever the hell you're sitting in. You're in a mech, so you're sitting in something. They didn't say anything, but do you think they potentially will come out and say, hey, or do you think they would have announced it here if they had VR capabilities?
I don't think Titanfall 2, unless you go back and do it.
Yeah.
Maybe Titanfall 3, if it does well. It could be really interesting that you say that. Like, to have a VR where the interface is you in the mech, you know? And then you're looking out the windows and seeing the rest of the game world and going that could be really cool. But obviously, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either, but it's just a hypothetical question with it, whether that's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Geek said she would die if it was in VR. So much motion sickness, so much vomit. Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
especially like the wall running that they showed off and all. Like, I mean, the movement stuff. I'm thinking. Well, I guess single player are gonna be moving a lot too. It depends on how quick the movements are, but yeah, I think it's a cool idea. Again, we don't know VR much with it, so. But I just think sitting in a mech would be a good experience for that. Next thing, so I'm just gonna go in order of what they announced because that's the easiest way to do this. They talked about Madden. A few of the stuff is already known. Some of it was not. New commentary team for Madden. They're getting rid of what's their faces. I can't remember. I don't even know who. Jim Nantz and somebody else. I can't remember who.
Phil Sims, I thought.
Yeah, could be.
Or no.
I don't know. shows how much we pay attention to it. But they have a new commentary team. I'm excited about that because they didn't say it here, but they're going to update it every week with new stuff. So if a guy breaks out, they'll have him in the game and have his name right and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited about that. They didn't mention much here. They did mention though a lot about esports. What's your guys' take on esports and kind of how they kind of positioned all this? Because I have very strong opinions on this. Let you guys start.
I wasn't really sure what they were. There was, some stream difficulty when they were explaining that part on my end, so I didn't really catch that.
So they announced basically competitive modes and weekly online contests, as well as I couldn't catch the third one, but they have challenger events, premier, and then I couldn't catch whatever the big one was. But basically, to me, it feels like they're trying to make EA Sports, esports come to everybody, and I don't think that's what esports should be. I feel like they might hurt the game if they do that. I don't know. I don't like it.
I guess I don't follow. What is their competitive modes? What are
it would be?
I don't know.
From what it sounds like, it's just them having these tournaments all the time with this game and trying to make this like their big pillar of, because Madden's already done that. Madden is the big competitive game when it comes. They have the Madden championships and all that, but I think they're trying to expand it into all their other games. So like they mentioned, FIFA is going to be part of it, which it already has it. But who's saying that's stopping them from doing other things with EA titles to make them more competitive for esports? So we'll have to see how that.
I don't know. That's an interesting idea, I guess. I guess it depends on how they use it. EA doesn't cultivate a lot of trust with consumers, so to me, it just seems.
Yeah. Because Call of Duty announced it last year that they're doing their own E-League or esports league, so I bet you this is kind of in direct comparison to that, or competition, saying, hey, we're here too. I wonder if they'll do Battlefield in that, because that could potentially be good, depending on how they handle that. But Mass Effect, next one they announced. Mass Effect. Powered by Frostbite. He did say showing more this fall. Does that mean there's a media event? What does that mean?
See, to me, that doesn't sound like a good sign
Yeah.
about the game. It either means they're behind in development, there's something that's broken that they feel hopefully will be fixed by fall, and then they'll have to have another event to renew interest in the game because it's going to be X amount longer till they release it. That's all I heard when they said that, which means they didn't deliver that message properly in my book.
Yeah.
If I got that from that.
Yeah, and it was a cinematic trailer, no release date, no release window, none of that. So I'm kind of in the same boat as you when it comes to like, is there something going on, or maybe it's just one of those things where maybe we just have expectations since they announced it last year that's going to be out sooner than it is. I feel like we don't really have a roadmap to when it's going to come out, and it sucks. Like I said, even if I think I mentioned in the pre-show, even if they said, hey, it's coming out Q4 or 2000, if it still says 2017, I guess we have a year, but I hate having a year more than like a quarter, so that way I can at least know when to expect it in that year, even if it's the end of the year. I don't care. I just want to know. But I guess
I just always think Watch Dogs now.
Yes, Watch Dogs.
That was if that wasn't a lesson, to keep with you. That one definitely.
Mighty Number 9.
Like, look how good this looked a year ago, but it's not anything indicative of what you're gonna get.
Yep.
So.
It'll be interesting to see. I want gameplay footage of that game. They showed the cinematic trailer, and it looked gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, that looked great. I didn't see anywhere where it said in-engine or in-game footage or anything, so I think that's just a straight cinematic. I could be wrong, but I didn't see it anywhere.
Not a good
Yes,
sign.
versus Battlefield, if you notice, it put a big bold right in the middle, in-game footage.
Right, they let you know.
So that's interesting. Next one they talked about was FIFA, which they didn't really talk they talked a lot about, but I could care less, and I'm kind of probably going to skim over it a lot because a lot of people probably don't care about it, but it's in Frostbite. They have a new career mode that I think looks a lot like the 2K series, where you're following a story, the Spike Lee joint, and then managers will be on the sideline. those are the three big things I gathered from that announcement. Obviously, Frostbite's just going to be a look thing. I hope FIFA's not been a bad-looking game, but hopefully it adds a little bit of fun to it.
I did not understand the awkward presentations
Yeah.
that they felt they needed to have with
the coach,
the manager, and why didn't I get on the list? And what was that? That was that just was like, okay,
and then
save it for the.
And then they talked about he's like, oh, I'll give your son some code, and like, I'll get you. Then they talked about his contract. It was weird. It was real weird.
Yeah.
So.
I was like, what? Why do we care about this?
Yeah,
this is at a problem. You know where you are right now.
We'll look at a top 10 list like 4 or 5 years down the road. This will make the top 10 most awkward E3 moments, I think, because there's been a few of them, but that one just like it just I don't know. It felt
made no
weird.
sense.
Yeah,
it was like, what does this have anything to do with anything?
I get that the managers in the game, and I'm
nothing.
sure because they're in London. I mean, that was from London. That guy probably has a lot of clout there, but as Americans, we don't really watch soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. We don't watch soccer, and to me, I don't know who that guy is. I'm sure overseas, and we also have to remember that FIFA is a big international market, so it may not be targeted at us. Who knows? Because I guess managers on the sideline is a big deal, but to me, I'm playing on the field, not on the sideline.
Well, if a press conference is to get you excited to play it, that did not work.
No,
that was not how to accomplish.
It looked just like every other FIFA game I'd seen. Like they show.
Right.
I did like that I will say I did like that they started with the anniversary of the EA Sports logo. I was like, oh my god, flashbacks when they went EA Sports. It's in the game like that. I don't know if I don't think they don't do that anymore. I love that. That was the '90s thing, and it was just awesome. Yeah, there's not really much to talk about on FIFA. The next part, probably my favorite part of the whole thing, and I think this is kind of where it went from a bad press conference to an okay one. EA Originals. Obviously, we talked right at the end of the pre-show of having an Unravel or something like that, and I think EA, as much crap as we give them, understood that indies are a good place to be. They don't make the most money, but if you're talking about just getting fans excited about video games or getting fans to buy into your company, I think indies is a good way to do that because 2 reasons. 1, you're helping a little dude. Everybody loves an underdog. And 2, it's usually some sort of unique, quirky, weird experience. And I'm all for it. It's great. And they showed off Fee, I think is what they called it. I thought it was Fear at first, but it's Fee, F-E. 11 people at that game studio. The game has no dialogue. It's a game without words. Everything is connected spiritually somehow through song. Unique song to connect you with the forest. The art direction looked amazing. And there's no tutorial. They kind of said, just go in the world. I mean... It
felt very much like a Journey to me in the way that it's presented. But very cool.
Yes.
It's very much its own thing, which I also like.
I was like... I mean, you were in the chat when we were watching, but it's one of those things where like I love indie games, and I love indie games that get the notoriety they need because I think there's too many times that there's kind of like being a small YouTuber. There's so many YouTubers out there that the big guys always get heard, the Jackcept guys, the Markipliers, or in this case with the streams, you've got IGN, GameSpot, Giant Bomb. I mean, you got all these other people you're competing with that the smaller guys that may be better, and I'm not saying we're better by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not insinuating that at all. But you do have smaller people that are making these really cool things and doing really cool ideas that don't get the opportunity because either money or just usually it's money based. You can't pay for exposure. And that game to me, it'll be interesting to see price on it. My head is probably a $15, $20 game, and if it is that, I will pick it up no problem. If it's more than that, I might have a little bit more of an issue. I can't remember. Unravel was 20, I believe, right? If I remember correctly, I want to say it's 20.
20. Mm-hmm.
And that was worth it to me. I love that game. So this.
Well, notice they couldn't stop mentioning it at first.
Yes.
It was like almost like they were going to announce a sequel.
Yep.
It was like, well, Yarny, that thing we did right.
Mm-hmm. Let's do another one of it.
And the thing we did right again.
Yeah. It's crazy. I love that kind of stuff, and I really, really like Unravel. We have a quick bite on it, as you know. Unravel, I think, is not Game of the Year, but it's probably close to Indie Game of the Year for me. there's like an indie game category.
It's very cool.
It's very stylized,
cool,
very easy,
very creative.
Yeah. It's nothing like you've seen before. So now let's get to.
Did we lose James completely?
What was that?
Did we lose James completely?
He did. He went away. I don't know where he is.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he lost internet.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's get to the part where it drops off again. So you're on this high of the EA originals to Star Wars. I literally I have 2 bullet points: content from new films and PSVR somewhere. That's all I have written down from that.
They literally name dropped in Henei, and that's it.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, we're doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a video, a medley of stuff.
Here's us working on.
Not going to actually show you anything, but
here's stuff. And that to me,
Yay!
that to me is scary because that means it's probably 2018. Probably not next year. And they didn't even mention Star Wars. Like I guess they mentioned the DLC, but like for Battlefront. But yeah, they talked about Battlefront 2 more than talked about the current game, which scares me.
Right.
I don't know. It's interesting. This is probably the part I was most excited for, and it just fell flat. I don't know what it is.
Completely, because it was the only thing that was even remote. Like they showed just 2 seconds of gameplay, maybe footage. They were like, gameplay footage?
Question mark?
You know, like that was like, you know, and then they showed that like for the third person game.
That
looked like
it's weird because I'm so excited for what that's gonna be, but at the same time I'm just like I don't know what it is. Like in my head, like, and the bad part about that is in your head you're making it so much bigger than what it could be because they didn't show you any way to like ground it for you.
It looked a little. I don't want to speculate too much, but it looked like Donnie Yen's character from Rogue One in the trailer. It looked like the back of his character's model.
Yeah,
what it looked like.
It'll be
I don't know.
It'll be real interesting to see because, like I said, I'm excited for it, and the concept of it is really cool, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know what it is.
Right. Literally, we just know it's the Uncharted writers working on it, and
that's it.
And I believe we know that Nolan North is involved.
That would be cool. I mean, he's just a voice, but that would be cool.
Well, yeah, but he leaked it like a while ago.
They're like, hey, Nolan, shut up.
And now it's true. So
yeah.
Right. Well, I guess when you're Nolan,
you can do whatever the hell
North,
you want.
Whatever.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I say what I want.
Yeah. So the last.
Damn it, we lost James.
So, yeah, he's coming in and out. The last part, Battlefield 1. I think they hit everything they needed to on the head. Apparently, right now there is live footage going on. There's a live stream of that 32 versus 32. I didn't want to show that because it's going to be an hour long and kind of wanted to discuss about what we saw more than that. But we got a release date, October 21st. We got in-game footage. It wasn't not necessarily gameplay, but in-game footage. Dynamic weather. There were blimps, aka behemoths. They had airships, armored trains, battleships, and at the end they had horses fighting a train. That to me sums up what World War One is, because it was weird because you're adding that modern technology of like I'm so used to having modern technology in a war game and putting it with the horses, which is the way you used to fight, and it's kind of like that shows that transition that World War One became. And
something that I thought was very cool was they showed a picture, and I immediately thought, well, that looks like the French countryside, which I think is the first time we've had good enough graphics
to know where it's at.
Yes, you can identify. Yes, you can identify your setting based on what you're seeing because of the fidelity, and,
which is crazy. I mean, that, like I said, I think that trailer or that that part of the presentation, I think nailed it. They did what they needed to do. They knew that was their big hitter. They knew they had to wait till the end to do it. It just sucks because I feel like it dragged on to get to that point. This was definitely a roller coaster of a conference. The only part I don't like was the Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx. I don't get it. And apparently Snoop, the chat saying Snoop Dogg is playing with them too. So star power. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it was just like, bro, look who we got to do this, and they're like, yeah, and And the guy's just like, yeah, guys, show off how excited you are to play this game. And they're like,
well,
bro.
Well, when they cut to them, they were just kind of like standing there, like, "Hi, we're here. We got paid." Like, that's what it felt like. It didn't feel like they were excited about the game.
I didn't have a charity anybody invited me to, so I'm here
doing this. They decided to pay me, and like, that's the only part that I'm just like bleh about. But the whole rest of it, like, I'm super pumped for this game. The 32 versus 32, I do want to see kind of how and again, they're live streaming now. We might come back to it after this is done just so you guys can see it if it's still going. But the 32 versus 32 is a cool concept. It's kind of scary, though, because it means I'm going to die a lot because there's a lot of people to shoot me. But I want to see how the online works. Obviously, with any online player, matchmaking is important. Map or level design is important. But from what I saw, the single player, I'm assuming all the stuff we saw today was single player campaign-based stuff. Wasn't really. I mean, it was just showing off. Who knows what it is. But for what I saw, I'm excited about the game, and that's what I think it needs to do. I'm pumped. I mean, October's what?
It did its job.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 months away. What are we in? 4 months? 5 months away? I don't know. I can't do math. But less than half a year away, and as of right now, this game is on my list of games I want to play. Versus,
and they're showing off gameplay, so that's
versus what was the other one we talked about? I was like, meh. Versus FIFA, where we're like, I don't care. Like,
right.
I don't know. It's just that. Like I said, that trailer did that, or that presentation, part of the presentation did it right. So overall, I would probably give EA. I would give them probably a C+. I do want to spend more time and kind of look it over again to make sure I didn't miss any small things. I'm sure I did, because trying to keep with the chat, watching the thing, taking notes, and I'm like, crap, I missed something. But I think they had some really good highs, and I think Battlefield. I think from a press standpoint, Battlefield, and then the EA Originals will be like the big headlines for them throughout the weekend, unless they announce something really crazy out of left field, which I doubt because that's what this is for. But
this would have been
when you do it. But who knows? Maybe like, oh, we screwed up. Let's fix this. But who knows? But
yeah.
It's very much a roller coaster ride. We're getting into it. I'm kind of like, okay, let's go. Like, Titanfall is cool. This is nice. Like, I was getting warmed up, and then it just kind of fell apart in the middle part there, and then the end kind of picked back up. But I just,
a big studio like EA, it's like bring it to the table. Don't.
I think
they could have. Yeah.
I think they're too focused on it being on doing their own thing, though. I wonder how much of them not being at E3 and doing this EA Plays thing played into this. Like, did they... I mean, obviously it's different people doing the games versus marketing and all that kind of stuff, but how much time did they like, okay, we have our own show, we need to bring everything we can, no matter what state it's in. Versus, like, if they had Mass Effect and, like, Mass Effect was delayed, like, maybe they could have just done... Even I probably would have been happier with Mass Effect if they'd not said anything and just put up a logo and said, like, it's again date or a quarter next year. Like, that would have been fine. Like, I would have been upset, but I think I'm more mad and more confused now because they didn't show anything that we didn't already know, and that confuses me a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to tell because I would have been mad either way because they didn't bring what I thought they were going to bring, but. I don't know.
I'm just not excited about it.
No.
That's the thing. Like, sure, it looks interesting because the other ones were, but what are they bringing to the new ones?
At the beginning of it, they touted, they're like, this is, you love the old ones, and then they kept saying, these are new characters with new experiences and all this. I'm like, but you just touted how much you love the game.
Says, this is why.
You're selling on nostalgia, but you're like, this is new, and you're like, you just said they're two different things. Like, come on. Figure it out. But... I don't know. It's weird. Like I said, I've never played the original, so I don't know anything. I mean, I know a little bit about them, but not a whole heck of a lot. But it's interesting to see how they messaged that and what they did with it. So, do you have any final thoughts before we peace out? Well, I was gonna say for the night, but for this until we go to the to hit the next stream. Oh look, somebody's here.
Only that I'm excited that hopefully.
Will be better.
Much better
I have to say it. I think it'll only go up from here. It's interesting because, I mean, we said before we got on, EA is probably the one we're least excited about, and I think they kind of showed that. Bethesda, I mean, we'll talk about it, but Bethesda has the opportunity.
I think they proved why. But,
yeah.
You know.
Bethesda has the opportunity of doing some cool stuff like that. I mean, last year, the Fallout 4 reveal, and we'll talk about that later on this evening, right before they go live at 9 o'clock our time. So what is that, like about 4 hours from now? Tune back in and we'll have that going on. We'll be talking about Bethesda and then hopping into the Bethesda stream. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like a weird way to start off E3. Like, I was so hyped for E3 and I'm like, well, damn, video games. Let's go find something. So
I'm sure E3 too is also like, why did they have to branch off and kick us off with this horrible feeling now?
Yeah, and
well,
because we didn't.
It can only go up from
who who started off? Was it Bethesda last year that started off the conference? Because Fallout, I remember Fallout 4 being like, that was the talk. Like you're like, oh shit, like that was the talk, and that's
right.
EA didn't have any surprise moments other than I think that indie game was the one surprise moment. But as cool as that is, an indie game won't make a conference. It won't make a keynote. Right. I mean, I kind of wanted, like I said, to me, if they said, hey, the Mass Effect trilogy or something like maybe not a whole new game or something like that, but even if it's just like, here's something you can have that's added on to it or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what that would be, but I just feel like I kind of went in knowing everything that was going to happen. And that's partially because I'm plugged in industry, but even then.
Yeah, you would think they would at least try and keep everything from leaking before the day.
And I think though, because the guy came out and said, if you guys didn't see the leak this morning, that Titanfall single player trailer is supposed to be that. Because based on his reaction, so that, I mean, if we didn't know that going into it, but the speculation was it was there. So even if that didn't leak, it was like, okay, we expected that.
That's what I'm saying. That wasn't a surprise, even if we saw the trailer to make it official, but there was nothing like, oh, we've had this on this, but you didn't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Amanda says they shouldn't have had a conference. They should have just announced it at Sony and Microsoft conferences. I kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like
because it was awkward.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
It didn't stand on its own.
Someone else could have presented their stuff better, I think.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, like we said, it's only going to go up from here from this point forward. So I'm excited to see what Bethesda has, and then obviously tomorrow being the big hitters, Sony, Microsoft, Ubisoft. I'm a little concerned about. They're the only one tomorrow, and then the PC gaming. I'm not as big a PC gamer, but it'll be interesting to see what gets announced there and all that. But Sony and Microsoft for sure, I'm super excited about tomorrow. But tonight, I think Bethesda, to me, if they could outdo themselves last year, they've set themselves up really well. I mean, I don't know what they would do. I don't know if they have anything ready. That's the problem. We'll talk about this later tonight. But like, if Bethesda can outdo themselves, then we're in for a good E3, because then I think it's just uphill from there, and I'm excited to see what they've got. So. But yeah,
I am too.
Thanks for watching, guys. We are going to stream, like I said, at 8:30 our time is where we're going to start. 8:30 Central Standard Time. That's roughly 4 hours. Technically 3 hours and 45 minutes from now. But we'll have that going on. I might switch back over. I'll double check to see if the gameplay footage is still going on. I'll flip that back on if you guys want me to. But thanks for hanging out, David. James, I can hear you. I can't see you, but thanks for hanging out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm here just
listening.
The only thing worse than that EA conference is how shitty my computer is.
If it makes you feel any better, my webcam, I had to switch webcams too, so my webcam went out. I had to figure out what's going on before that.
I can't do that on a laptop, though.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We are, again, E3 week. We've got the stream tonight, and then all day tomorrow we're doing this coverage stuff. And then we also release videos regularly every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the normal gameplay live streams are Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, but those are not happening this week because of E3. So be on the lookout for all that, and we hope to be your one-stop shop for E3 news. And if anything breaks, follow us on Twitter at Level2Gamers. I'm now going to go over to Twitter and just kind of sift through a lot of the data and see what I saw. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank chat for hanging out with me. It's a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it tonight with Bethesda. So you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'm sure I will speak to you. I will speak to you later.
Hopefully I get everything working.
Bye, guys.